Hey guys, welcome back to another video where I'm bringing you usually some cryptocurrency news article, but this is a Rich Dad Poor Dad blog. Now, I've learned so much from the Rich Dad Poor Dad series. I want to share this information with you guys. And like I report the Divi blogs, like I did with the gas fees this morning, I want to share some financial educational articles, blogs with you. And like to be financially set, do I have an asset or liability? That's always a great question to know, even in the crypto space. Like, is your cryptocurrency an asset or a liability? Bitcoin, definitely an asset. Terra Luna, definitely a liability. You will learn the differences the more you do your research and study up on the blockchain and everything. But let's take a look at in real life two assets and liabilities. Is your house an asset or is it a liability? How do you look at it? An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes it from you. So that's a little thing to get in your head. But let's go over this blog and maybe we can learn something. So, do I have assets or liabilities? A brief education on assets and liabilities. This is ran by Kim Kiyosaki, Robert Kiyosaki's wife. So, Robert's rich dad had a way of putting things in a very simplistic term. His definition of an asset is still one that I use today. An asset, whether you're working or not, is something that puts money in your pocket, period. And that's simple. Now, why this is important to understand. If you stopped working today, meaning your salary stopped, from where would money flow into your pocket? Most women reply with nowhere. There'd be no money. Here are some examples of differences between assets and liabilities. An asset may be a rental property that has a positive cash flow. It may be a business in which you invested that gives you cash flow every year. It could be a stock that pays a dividend. It could be the Divi project with a master node or a staking vault like that pays you out. And so yeah, so the key is that it is an investment from which you receive money on a regular basis. It provides a positive cash flow. Now, a liability, on the other hand, is something that takes money from your pocket. So if you stopped working, chances are your car would take money from your pocket each month through car payments, gasoline, and maintenance. Your home would take money from you each month in the form of a mortgage payment, property taxes, insurance, and upkeep. These all provide negative cash flow. Now, adjust your focus. Here is the revelation I had when looking at the income statement and balance sheet. So, I was taught to focus here, the income section. But the key to financial freedom is to focus on acquiring assets. So, this is the focus you want to be at too when you look at your spreadsheets or your financial statements. Now, I was always told to focus on the income column. I was taught to get a job, work hard, and keep getting paid, pay raises. Or if I worked on an hourly basis, I was taught I should put in more hours or increase my hourly rate. The focus was always on income, specifically ordinary earned income, increasing my salary, wages, or commission. As long as I put my focus and attention there, then I would be working hard for that income all my life. Now, the lights came on when I realized that the key to financial well being is not to focus on acquiring income, but instead focusing on acquiring assets. When I made that connection, life became easier, both in my personal financial life and in our business. The Rich Dad Company, I focused on acquiring assets personally and also focused on the assets we were building within our company. I also began asking one important question: what new assets am I building today? It's simple, a different way of looking at the world, thinking differently about enjoying the finer things. How many times have you wanted something? A new car, a bigger house, diamond earrings, a designer handbag, but told yourself, no, I can't have that because you couldn't afford it. Perhaps you've consoled yourself with reminders that nobody gets everything they want in life, or maybe someday. I once felt that same way. For example, years ago, I found something I really wanted: a beautiful 60-foot long sailboat. There were two problems. One, we didn't have the money for it. And two, we knew that owning a boat was a giant liability, or at least that's what we thought. But I really wanted that sailboat, so I began to investigate ways that would allow me to purchase the boat and turn it into an asset instead of just letting it sit in a dock in Hawaii and writing checks every month to pay for the maintenance and the loan on it. We put the boat into a charter company when we're not using the boat. It's chartered throughout the Hawaiian Islands. The money from the charter business pays for the expenses of the boat. And it's so satisfying when assets and liabilities merge. Now, we do the same thing with our vacation house in Hawaii. It's a beautiful house, but since we live in Arizona, we're not there much, so we rent the house out most of the year for thousands of dollars a day. The cash flow easily pays for the expenses of the house and then some. Once again, we found a way to essentially combine assets and liabilities. And the best part is that we get to enjoy the boat and the house whenever we want to, all paid for by the business we turn them into. Talking about having your cake and eating it too. Now, change your mindset, change your life. When Robert and I got married, we talked a lot about money and how we were going to approach it together as a couple. For instance, we came up with financial golden rule. Any money in the asset column stays in the asset column. Another rule that we came up with was that if either of us wanted something fun like a sailboat, we never said no. Instead, we've always said how. That's right. Never say no or I can't. You got to get out of that mindset. Ask questions, figure out the problem and how you solve it. And then, yeah, and keep your assets in there. Like with my Divi Master nodes, I'm never touching that. With my Theta Guardian nodes, I'm never touching that. The only thing I'm touching is the rewards and earnings I get off of that. So that's how I earn my money and my cash flow from my crypto assets. So I can put those in the asset column of this financial record. Now, at the end of the day, living this way is all about mindset. Both Robert and I think it's terrible to tell people they can't have what they want. What a horrible way to go through life. But by shifting your mindset from I can't afford this to how can I afford this, you can literally change your life. The liabilities you want can actually make you richer as you get creative in finding ways to afford them by creating or investing in cash flowing assets. So, cash flow is a big thing to pay attention to. Now, the most important takeaway, the reason people get into trouble financially or never get ahead in life is because they have liabilities that have been led to believe are assets. One of the most important lessons I learned from Rich Dad was to know the difference between an asset and a liability. Now, once you've got that down, you'll realize that the strategy to achieve infinite wealth, where the cash flow coming in is equal to or greater than your monthly expenses. It's very simple. Stop focusing on income and start acquiring assets that give you cash flow. It's no secret that wherever you put your time, energy, and focus will grow in your life. So if you want to achieve your financial dreams, you may want to put your time, energy, and focus on acquiring assets. Robert and I designed the cash flow board game to teach you how to think differently about money and wealth. The more familiar you become with standard assets and liabilities, the more creative your solutions will be for ensuring you have everything you want in life. Today is the day to change your mindset about money. What is that you really want, and how are you going to get it? So, yeah, great blog right there. Article from Mrs. Kiyosaki, Kim herself. Like it is, you got to change your mindset and you got to focus on building up your assets. Don't focus on your job and your income. Like if you can have a little extra on the side and like start investing in something, there's plenty of assets out there you can invest in. Silver or gold, precious metals, certain cryptocurrencies that can build you some cash flow in some way, renting out some properties if you're in that situation, like owning a house instead of living in there, rent it out. In their case, they were able to get a boat, charter it off, and like so, yeah. There's many ways to bring in a cash flow, and these are assets that they continue to own. So yeah, it's like this was a great article. I'm glad I got to share this with you guys because this is like the Rich Dad Poor Dad again, like taught me so much, and I just want to try to share this information so you guys can start thinking kind of the same way I did after I started learning through this process. So again, this is going to be like a weekly thing where like once a week I'm going to find like a Rich Dad Poor Dad article, which is very educational and can help you guys out in your learning process. So like if you're getting into cryptos, like I definitely think you should be financially literate and educated on how money works, what it is, what are assets and liabilities. Do you have a financial statement record? Like, you know what that is, like your income, your cash flow, your expenses, assets and liabilities. You have that all understood. So yeah, so this was a great blog. I hope you guys liked it. If so, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a beat. And this will all be organized and laid out in the Rich Dad section on my Patreon. So it might get lost on YouTube, but if you want these in one section, check out my Patreon account. It's only $5 a month, and I will have everything organized there so you can find all these videos with ease of use. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, the Crypto Sherpa is out.